So we're going to write the problem. Negative 8 equals negative 3 plus x all over 2. Okay, I'll give you a second to write that down. Okay, when the entire side with the variable is a fraction, what's my first step? Multiply it away. Thank you. Parentheses go around what's already there and multiply by 2. Parentheses go around what's already there, multiply by 2. I do that on purpose because I want this to happen. I want the 2's to divide into a 1 I don't need. So I don't write it. 2 times negative 8 is a negative 16 equals, this is a 1, I don't need to multiply it, I just get what I have in the parentheses. And then I just solve my one-step equation from there. How do I get rid of minus 3? Add 3 to the other side. That's 0. Negative 13 equals x. And this is our answer. Okay? This is just a reminder. When the entire side is a fraction, multiply the denominator away first. Okay? Now I do want us to look at number 2 because it is a little bit different. And number 2 was for homework, so if you got it right, you do not have to rewrite it. Okay, but let's write the problem first. Negative 7 equals a over 16 minus 6. Is the entire side a fraction? No, it is not. I just have this part that is. So this is division and this is subtraction. Subtraction is going to go away first. So I'm going to add 6 over here to get that to be a 0. And then I'm going to have negative 1 equals a over 16. And then the inverse of division, I gotta make that bigger, I can't remember. And then the inverse of division is multiplication. Put parentheses around what's already there on both sides. Again, there's that positive 1 I don't need. And a equals negative 16. Okay? So, there is the difference in how you work those two problems. Questions about those? Okay? When solving, addition and subtraction goes away first, then we take care of that multiplication or division. Okay? Now we're going to look at number 15. And that's also an odd one you did not do. So everybody needs to write number 15. Negative 191 greater than or equal to negative 5 parentheses 1 plus 6r minus 6. Okay? This is going to take a few steps, but we just follow the order of solving equations in the column. Okay? So, step 1. What do you see that I have that I need to take care of first? Parentheses. Can I add 1 plus 6r? No. They're not like terms. One has a variable, one does not, so I can't perform what's on the inside. So now I'm just looking at it as multiplication. Right? Distribute. Very good. Negative 5 times 1 Negative 5 times 6r. Here we go. Not doing anything with the negative 191, so I just bring that down. Negative 5 times 1, negative 5. Negative 5 times 6r is negative 30r, thank you, minus 6. What now? Combine like terms. Very good. Which ones are like terms? Well, exactly. My constants. Very good. So now I have negative 191 is greater than or equal to negative 30r minus 11. You can write it the other way. It doesn't matter. I just like writing the variable first. It's a habit that I have. Okay, so I'm working on this side. How do I know? Well, that's because where the variable is, right? And it needs to be isolated. So multiplication, subtraction. Subtraction goes away first. What's the inverse of minus 11? Plus 11 to the other side. That goes away. Negative 180 greater than or equal to negative 30r. Now what do I do? Divide that negative 30 away. Remember, it's opposite operation on opposite sign. This is multiplication. The inverse is to divide. This gives me that positive 1 I'm looking for that I don't need to write. So r, and then what do I get over here? 6. What is my inequality? I divided by a negative number. I divided by negative 30. That flips the symbol. If I divide by a positive, it doesn't change anything. But when I divide by a negative number, it flips the symbol. Don't forget that. That's the important part. Okay? The major difference between equations and inequalities. Questions? Okay. No questions? All right. I want to work number 20, which is a homework problem of yours. So if you have your, now, if you worked number 20 and got it wrong, I do want you to fix it. Okay? All right, so number 20 is 5 is less than x plus 9, which is less than or equal to 10. Now what we have here is a compound inequality. Okay? I have to work in the middle because that's where my variable is. Nothing, just a 1 in front I don't need to work with. So I need to get rid of the positive 9 or the plus 9 by subtracting 9 away. That's 0. Negative 4 x 1. Did I divide by a negative number? Nope. So just bring those symbols down. Okay. Now, I do want you to put your number line down here, and if you already have one, that's great. If you don't, there it is. And I only need a 0, negative 4, and a positive 1. I only need those numbers on your number line that you have to make. Okay? Now, when I look at the negative 4, less than, is that going to be an open or a closed circle? Less than. Open or closed? Open. So open circle on -4. Okay. What about the 1? Is this open or closed? Closed. The equal to part closes it in. Okay, now I know that this is an and inequality, right? Because the variable's in the middle. This is and. So this side is what it is. X is less than or equal to 1. This side, x and -4, I'm going to switch their position. So what do I do with the inequality? Switch it too. And I feel like I can graph it better this way. But you've got to understand these are both the same answer. Okay? So x is greater than -4. Which way is greater than -4? Where are the numbers greater than -4? To the right. Stop at your other circle. X is less than 1. Where are the numbers? The answer is less than 1. To the left. And inequalities overlap. The shading overlaps. So if it's an and, your shading should be overlapping. Okay? Now I want you to look on your homework and tell me, is there an or inequality that I had you do? Yes, what number? 22 is correct. So let's look at number 22. For and or, how do you know it's an or? Well, it says so. 5 minus 8v greater than or equal to 77, or -3 plus 8v is greater than or equal to 21. I know it's an or because it says it is. Do what? Oh, I just made that up? Okay, thanks. There we go. Didn't need the equal to part. Okay, I solved, because it's an or, I solved this one. And then I'm going to solve this one separately because they're ors. Here we go. Multiplication, addition or subtraction. Get rid of the addition or subtraction first. Subtract 5 from the other side, that makes that one a 0. -8v is greater than or equal to 72. Divide by -8, makes that a +1. V is less than or equal to -9. Why did I flip the inequality? Divided by a negative, right there. If you divide by a negative, flip that inequality. What's the inverse of -3? Plus 3 to the other side. There's that 0. So now 8v is greater than 24. Divide by 8. There's my 1. V is greater than 3. And what has to go in the middle to know? 4. This is my answer. Okay, here is my number line. I need a 0, I need a -9, I need a +3. Okay? The circle on my -9, is it open or closed? Open or closed? Closed. Where are the numbers less than or equal to -9? To the left. The 3, open or closed circle? Open. Where are the numbers greater than 3? To the right. So, or inequalities shade in opposite directions. And inequalities overlap, ors are in opposite directions. Questions? Okay? Okay, now I want us to look at, it says solve each system by elimination. I want to talk for a moment about number 24. For number 24, you should have gotten infinite solutions. I want you to know that. You may want to go back and work that after we work number 26. Okay? We're going to work number 26. That's one you should have done for homework. If you got it right, you're good. If not, make sure you fix it. Here we go. I've got -5x plus y equals 5. -10x plus 3y equals 0. Elimination means I need to eliminate one of those variables. Will either one of them immediately make a 0? Yes or no? -5x minus 10x, does that equal 0? No. Y plus 3y, does that equal 0? No. So we're going to have to make one of them, we're going to force it. Hunter, what are you thinking? Okay. Multiply the top one by 2. Well, 2 times -5 is -10, Hunter. Will that make a 0? -10 minus 10 needs to be a -2. I need you to pull your mask up, please. -2. Because now, and Hunter is correct, make sure you distribute it all the way across. Okay? So we get -2 times -5 is a positive 10x minus 2y equals -10. We did nothing to the second equation, bring it straight over. And this is what we will work from. Because now what we've got is, what is 10x minus 10x? 0. So the x's are gone. They are eliminated. -2 plus 3y is just y equals -10. So now I have solved for one of my variables. Now I have to solve for the other one, right? Because remember, when I'm using elimination, it's a system on a coordinate plane, and I'm trying to find where does this line intersect this line on the coordinate plane? So I need an ordered pair for my answer. I know what y is. I need to find x. You have to substitute into an original equation. Which one do you want to substitute into? The top or the bottom? Yes. This one? It came from me knowing that if I multiply by a -5, I'll get a +10 and I can eliminate it. Okay? Nope, good question. Good question. Anybody else? So what I'm doing is I'm deciding what can I multiply the entire equation by that will eliminate one of my variables. Very good. Okay, so let's substitute into the top one. Everywhere there's a y, I'm going to put -10. Here we go. -5x plus y equals 5. What is the inverse of -10? +10 to the other side. There's my 0. 5x equals 15. Write this down. Everybody's writing this down. And then I'm going to divide by that -5. X equals -3. Okay? So where do these two lines intersect? What's my ordered pair? -3, -10. Because keep in mind, an ordered pair is written as x comma y. So order does matter, and it has to be written in that order. The x value, then the y value. And that's where those two lines will intersect. This comes from systems. Two lines on the same coordinate plane. Okay? When you get these and you multiply, and if both cancel, they're both eliminated at the same time, then you're looking at your answer here. Is it true or is it false? If you get 0 equals 0, which you should get here, you get infinite solutions. If you get a false statement, like -3 equals 2, it's false, so it's no solutions, just as a reminder. Yes, sir. Yes, all real numbers and infinite solutions, same thing. Yes. I just need you to realize that in case it's multiple choice and they use whichever set of words they use. Okay? Okay. Excellent. We are now going to look at number 29. That was not a homework question, so everyone's going to need to write this one. Number 29. And I'm looking at substitution for number 29. I've got y equals -2x plus 7. And I have -2x minus 8y equals 14. So these are my two lines here. Substitution says, hey, since I know what y is, I'll just substitute it into the other equation. Y is all of this that's going to go right in there. Okay? So whatever y is, we substitute in. So here's what I've got. -2x minus 8y, and 2x plus 7, equals 14. So I'm writing this second equation. I'm just putting what y is in parentheses there. Okay, I'll give you a second to write that down. Okay, now I'm going to need to distribute this negative 8. Don't forget it's a negative. And I get negative 2x plus 16x minus 56 equals 14. All I did was distribute that 8, and now I've got this. My next step is to do what? Combine those like terms, and in this case, they happen to be the variable terms. Okay? And I get, what is that, 14x minus 56 equals 14. Add 56 to the other side, make that go away. And 14x equals 70. What does x equal? 5 is correct. So x is 5. I need to substitute the x into an original problem to see what y equals. Always put it in the y equals one. So y equals negative 2 times x, which I now know is 5, plus 7. What does y equal? Negative, negative 3 is correct. Negative 10 plus 7 is negative 3. So what is my solution? 5, negative 3 is correct. Okay. Questions? All right, so elimination, substitution, we talked about those things. All right, now we're going to solve the inequality. Look at number 42, please. The absolute value of m plus 8 plus 2 is greater than 11. In order to solve an absolute value equation or inequality, you have to isolate the symbols. So, you look. Of course, the other side doesn't count. What is outside those symbols that has to go away? Plus 2. What's the inverse of the plus 2? Minus 2 to the other side. So now I have the absolute value of m plus 8 is greater than 9. Much like the square root, there are two answers when we have absolute values. We have the positive answer and we have the negative answer. This m plus 8 is greater than 9. The other one is m plus 8 is less than negative 9. Remember, when we are dealing with inequalities, it's not just the negative, it's also the opposite symbol. Okay? And then we just solve it, right? Opposite of plus 8 is minus 8. M equals 1 minus 8. M is less than negative 17. And these are our solutions. Okay? So, and not equal to, greater than. My apologies. I know. I get so excited. I just want it to be equal to. Okay. And then you would graph and solve those. Is this one open or closed? Open. This one is open also. Okay. When I look right here, greater. Is this an and or an or? Great or. Remember that? Great or less than. Okay. Make sure you isolate those symbols first. Okay. Now, do you have questions about any problems I did not go over? Look over your homework. Look over those even problems. If there is one you need me to go over with you, I will.